Again!
What'd you say about stereotypes of black community? Just so I'm clear.
The typical stereotypes. Criminals selling drugs, rap music,
wow.
FUBU.
Who's the
fried chicken, watermelon?
That's funny.
Well, you said the stereotypes.
Yeah, that's so funny. That's so funny. All right, so we want to talk about. You want to talk about drug dealing? I think we kind of mentioned it a little bit earlier. Who flooded black neighborhoods with drugs? They don't have access to the port. Black people aren't on the ports. Black people aren't the ones bringing it in from Nicaragua or wherever the fuck. How did those drugs get in these communities?
Yeah, they were smuggled in.
By who?
Hispanics typically smuggle the drugs in.
So
right, and then blacks typically do the domestic distribution.
So we're talking about you're just saying that the CIA Contra affair, all that stuff that happened, putting crack in black neighborhoods, that was just black people, crazy.
Well, you have a choice. Am I going to sell crack or am I not going to sell crack? If you decide to not sell the crack, you won't go to jail. If you decide to sell the crack, you'll go to jail.
So
but the point is that there's a choice to be made, and if you make the wrong choice, then.
So when you deny a whole community access to wealth through, redlining, when you let them access to wealth, about not giving them loans or
what's holding black people back from success now?
So history doesn't matter. It doesn't affect the present. So history doesn't affect the present. Is that what is that your framing?
Not really. Well, nothing's holding you back.
I'm one brother.
Okay.
I'm one brother.
Well, any black person that's here, nothing's holding any of you guys back. You guys are here, right?
So as far as
to get
housing,
here, right?
So you're saying that there are still no racist housing practices, even though we have a ton of statistics to say there is. You're saying that there are no racist policing practices, even though we know
I never said that.
Oh, so okay, you never said that.
Racism exists, but it does not exist to the point where it keeps you from success. So there's always going to be racist people wherever you look. There's a lot of black people that are racist, right? I would argue blacks tend to be more racist than whites sometimes. But regardless, racism is no longer a viable excuse as to why you're not successful. It's just not. In 2025.
I
would argue, as a black person, if you're not successful in 2025, you're a fucking retard. And I'll tell you why. You have far more opportunities and benefits as a colored person than as a Caucasian. We have affirmative action, DEI. We have all these programs in place to allow minorities to basically get a leg up on the things that you're talking about before. I agree that there were some racist atrocities before. However, we've corrected it to a point where everyone has an opportunity. I would say we've almost overcorrected.
You think we've overcorrected?
Almost,
okay.
Yes.
Okay, you think we've overcorrected. So all these programs, all these things that exist, who did DEI programs mostly benefit?
They benefit blacks and women and minorities.
White women were the number one. Black people at the bottom.
Yeah.
We are at the lower part of that table. It was white women. So don't come here and say that DEI has put black people.
I am not. Well, it's giving you guys opportunities. And obviously, white women are almost.
What opportunities?
White women spearhead every liberal movement, which again, on the white guys, you guys need to take better. You guys need to, put these women back in the kitchen. Because the reality is that they fucking undermine.
Listen, this is coming from a guy who is not married. I'm married 5 years. Don't listen to this.
What does have to...
Bro, your opinions on, I'm just saying your opinions on women come from an uninformed place.
Really?
Yes.
How many women have you had sex with?
A lot.
Okay. Now, how long have you been married
for? That's provable, and I got video evidence.
Yeah, okay. Well, don't incriminate yourself. Look, you can sit here and say, you're not married, so therefore you can't talk on this. But the reality is that men are the ones that give relationships to women, not the other way around. So if I wanted to get married, I could easily get married.
Women can say no, right?
Well, women want relationships. Men gatekeep relationships.
Men need relationships.
No, women need relationships, actually.
Oh, okay. What's the statistics on single men, loneliness, depression? And what happens with these single men once they get into relationships? And what happens to women once they get in relationships or get married, statistically?
All right, so do you want to transition from race into marriage now, or did you want to finish
I'm sorry, you're the one who's talking about women. You're the one who's starting the conversation.
No, you brought up the whole I'm married thing, and you showed your ring.
Listen, if you can't handle the debate, brother, if you can't handle, I got you. But what I'm saying
if you want to segue to that, we can. But
man, we can segue to that. I want to talk about race and the fact that historically we've been kept away from our communities.
And my counter to that is simply, historically does not mean now. There's nothing holding you back now.
And my counter argument to that is, then that's like saying that what happened a few minutes ago doesn't affect our present. It does. That's the way history works. That's the way time works. We have laws. We have legislation. The reason we have a country is because of shit that happened a long time ago. True or false? The reason that we have the Constitution and the laws that still govern us today are because of legislation and things that happened. But that's the way time works.
Of course.
It's past,
what I'm saying is,
and future.
Though the things happened in the past, nothing is stopping you from working in the present to change your future.
But you're like saying, like, say there's two people running a race. You just had all these obstacles in front of one, well, no obstacles in front of the other, and now you're saying, well, we're not gonna have halfway through the race, no more obstacles.
You know, bro, let me just be honest. This is why nobody respects blacks, bro. Like this mantra right here.
Why does no one respect you?
Let me explain this. Why is that Nigerians or people from Africa or they come from the Caribbean, they come here and they make something to themselves as first generation immigrants? I'll tell you why. Because they don't have this mindset of redlining, systemic racism, reparations. They come here, even though they're black, and everyone else can identify them as not being a foundationally black American. They have the same skin color. They look black. They might not necessarily be a foundationally black American, but how is it that they're able to figure it out and come here and become successful? But people that have been here for 7 generations don't even have $7 in their fucking bank account. The problem is that blacks make too many goddamn excuses for why they're failures.
Oh, my God.
And this is the issue. Too many excuses.
Oh, my God.
Too many fucking complaints. Too much crying. It's like
they're not. I mean, this is stuff that actually happened when we did build economic. When we did build economic systems. When we did build communities where we had money. When we did build those things, they were what? Destroyed systematically, either by racist organizations or by legislation. That's something that actually happened. So what happens when you give a bunch of people who are one race, right, access to housing, access to loans, and you don't do that to another people? What do you think the generations after that would have happened?
If that racism is so bad, why is it that black people actually did better during the Jim Crow era? They had their own businesses. They were making more money. I'll tell you why, because the nuclear family. So when black people were the most oppressed and had the least rights and the least civil liberties, they actually did better than they do now. So again, nothing can keep you back.
You're talking about
nothing can keep you back from success besides yourself.
So you're talking about Reconstruction, right? What happened to all those successful businesses and things that were around during Jim Crow? They were destroyed, bro. They were destroyed.
And who destroyed it?
Our government or white racists, but that happened. You can't even lie. That's history, brother. That's history.
Again, choice and accountability.
The 90s, we're just
choice
a couple. That was a little bit ago. We're still living in the body. Okay, so what you're saying?
Because
so the people in Tulsa,
people in
Tulsa, Oklahoma, they chose for the Klan to come around. They chose for that. Is that what the fuck? You're talking about choice and responsibility, brother.
And I'm saying,
what responsibilities does the government have?
What I'm saying is, in the 60s, when they were actually successful, right, they were oppressed to the highest degree and they were still successful. So there's no excuse with racism being reeled back to not be successful. That's what I'm saying. All these other things happened. Cool. Nobody cares. People need to pick themselves up from the bootstraps.
Maybe you need to start caring. Maybe people should start caring. Maybe we should have those conversations. Because if we don't take care of what happened and how people were left like taken away from their access to wealth, right? If we don't deal with those things, how the fuck are we going to move forward?
Again, you can move forward because blacks have more opportunities than their white counterparts who are oppressing them for so long.
Who gets the majority of scholarships?
Well, here's the thing. There are scholarships that are only available to black people that are not available to whites.
Who gets the majority of scholarships?
Now, could you imagine if there was a scholarship that was only available to whites that's not available to blacks? See where I'm going with this?
But why do you think
blacks
they
have opportunities that whites don't have, and they've been getting this overcorrection for a while?
But we're still saying who gets the majority of loans? Who gets over-policed? Who gets the majority of access to wealth? Who gets the majority of scholarships? It's white folk, brother.
Well, they're the majority of people. They're the majority race. So, of course, they're going to be the majority in a lot of these regards that you're speaking
about. If they're the majority race, how come black people, right? But you want to talk about black people in regards to crime, but you don't want to talk about how that crime got into those neighborhoods or how those things, what responsibility does white America or America, the government, have as a whole for what you keep talking about responsibility? What responsibility does the government have?
Here's the problem. Blacks want to blame the government, not blame themselves. Oh, it's the government's fault. No, it's your fault for selling the drugs.
So the government has no responsibility. They have no fault, nothing bad. They didn't do anything bad. They're good. It's all gravy.
The government's always going to do dumb shit.
So we can't hold the government accountable.
Here's the thing. You can't depend on the government to save you. Like, just don't commit crimes.
You're wild. So the government, what utility does the government have?
You can't depend on the government to save you.
But okay, cool. But why are they destroying us?
They're not destroying you.
So
right now, how is the government holding you back from success right now?
I can't believe I got to do this again.
How is the government holding you back from success right now?
The race,
I don't care about the 80s with the crack.
No, okay, we'll talk about right now. What race of people are the highest exonerated? What race of people are the highest of wrongful convictions? What race of people are statistically over-policed? Go on.
Well, who commits a disproportionate amount of violent crime in America? So yeah.
Wait, I have a question. If wrongful convictions are majority of wrongful convictions are black people, and the majority of wrongful arrests, which is provable statistically, are black people, then could you assert from these statistics and look at the one where you're saying that they're committing more violent crime, right? When
sure.
You're saying that one, then what does that tell you? Their communities are over-policed.
This is a minority of cases, but the majority is they're fucking guilty.
The majority of black people are not.
No. I said the majority of these people that get arrested. The majority of these people that get arrested are guilty.
A white criminal offended and a black criminal offended who have the same criminal record go before a judge. Do black people disproportionately get higher sentences?
Because they commit a disproportionate amount of crime.
No. It's
violent crime and it's drug trafficking.
No. You're not.
Violent crime and it's drug trafficking.
So you're saying that like, oh, well, I see a black guy, a white guy, they did the same crime, but because your community historically, wow, you want to bring that up historically?
Well, that could be access to lawyers. That's going to be a big one.
And so, what happens when what community has the least access to wealth? It's black people.
And whose fault is that? Black people.
If we're constantly bro, you just admitted.
This is why nobody fucking takes black people serious, man. Like, this is crazy. Like,
I'm gonna let him go next because you have so much circular logic.
Over policing.
This was a fantastic opportunity.
CIA brought the crack in.
No,
dude, this is literally why everyone laughs at fucking blacks. Like, I don't know if you saw a bunch of niggas in the back are laughing at you. Like, all you got is excuses and complaints as to why you're a fucking failure. Like, bruh, like this shit is crazy. You know? Like, it's just absolutely nuts. It's like, how is it that people come here from Africa, don't speak the language, and figure it out and become successful? Meanwhile, we got these guys coming around, more racism. It's fucking clown world, bro. It's clown world. And this is why people laugh at the black community, because all they do is victim, 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 victim.